People. We've spoke to him before. I'm going to ask him to unmute himself. He should be there. Right, yeah. We spoke to him before. He's called the Big Boss UK. He actually opened Dougie Fest 2023. What's Dougie Fest? I hear you cry. It's where we get bands at Studio One, and we had 7 bands in our first ever one this year, and it was an absolute smash. And there was no one better to start the proceedings than this gentleman here. So, how you doing, man?
Good as gold, mate. Good as gold. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's a returning. I mean, I just let people know that we're going to be talking about. We'll talk about it in a bit, but just to let you know, we should have Smoking Eskimo on with us today and the Big Boss, and we'll tell you why they should be here. But unfortunately, there's been bereavement in the band side, so for obvious reasons, you know what I mean. We're all human. We've decided to just go with the. We was going to cancel it, and I was like, no, we need the Big Boss on. We need to chat. I've not spoke to Martin for ages. Yeah, so that's why we're here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I mean, condolences to Smoking Eskimo. But I really still want to come on and talk about what we did together because I think it's yeah. I'm happy people want to talk about it. I'm delighted, mate.
Well, I mean, for people out there, and it was our Dan Evans's last week, 5th anniversary of his show, and I went on there and I was waxing lyrical about things. We both got quite emotional about sins that had happened. Brian Travers coming on, and me stood in the kitchen going, "How's this happened?" He's on. Not my radio station, but, I was like, it's on our radio station. And he's like, well, we built this crazy thing in 2017. Everyone was going, oh, radio's dead. And I'm like, yeah, all right. What you think's radio is not what I'm going to be doing. So, but I didn't know then where we was going and what we was going to do. I just know we had this thing to do. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense, but I just knew we had something.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and that's you know what, if we want to start talking about Dougie Fest, I've got to tell you, I was really nervous about opening up Dougie Fest because I thought it's going to be it's going to be, a bunch of rock and roll bands, and I'm going to be out there pumping out these electronic beats, and no one's going to like it. And I know you dig it, but I think it's just one of those things in life, isn't it? You've got to step outside your comfort zone,
Yeah.
and take a chance and do something. And sometimes when you do, amazing things happen. And the amazing thing that happened was, bumping into the Smoking Eskimo team, Brogan and the lads, Chris and Jim. Yeah, man, if I hadn't have come, if I hadn't, even when I was setting up, even when I was playing, I was quite nervous because I feel like I had a whole load of people just kind of stand there, kind of looking at me going, what's he doing? But you know what? When I was looking out and down the back, standing right at the back, there was one dude who was right at the back who was like this. I could just see him sitting there going,
that's all you need.
well,
I mean, originally for that, I mean, we couldn't talk about a collaboration, but I think it all fits in because we've just had a little chat before we came to do the video. We was going to do something in a venue, and I said to Janice, that's going to potentially big risk from a financial point of view. We don't know. We've never done it before. And is everyone going to turn up? It's like, shit, this is not right. Hang on a minute. I was like, hang on a minute. I've got facility here. I've got all the equipment and to use, and I've got loads of space. Maybe we should do it here. And the cost.
Yeah, no, sorry to interrupt. And you don't really give a shit about your neighbours.
I don't give 2 fucks. I mean, I seriously, someone said to me, I did invite some of the neighbours. Just let me turn that down. I did invite some of the. Oh no, let me turn it up. Some of the neighbours were here, but I didn't invite some of them because I think they're arseholes. But that's why I did the. They probably think I am as well. And that's why we said, okay, we'll do it from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night, and then no one can moan, can they? No one can moan if it finishes at 8, 9 o'clock at night. No one. And it's not every weekend. And what was really bizarre, someone I bumped into and lives about 7 or 8 houses away. And I bumped into him. Did you have a party the other week? I said, no, it wasn't a party. He went, you had some live bands on. It sounded amazing. I said, it was. I said, I had a festival in my garden. And then someone else bumped into, he was a university professor, and he's like, I was around. Is that your gig sounded brilliant? I was in his house. I was like, oh my God. So it's nuts, isn't it? I had invited them. I did say they were welcome to come, and they never came. So that's down to them, isn't it?
They'll probably come next time, though, won't they?
Oh yeah, they'll be banging down the door. I mean, for me, and it's everything we've put together and everything we've done, and we asked people that we wanted to be here. We didn't say, oh, who can we get? We specifically asked a group of individuals to come. We was originally only supposed to have three or four bands. I said to Janice, let's ask 6 because 2's bound to drop out. We ended up with 7. So, but what I took from that, which is mega really, is the collaborations that happen, and that's what the station's about. It's about linking people. It's about promoting people. But the fact that you and Smoking, who are totally different genres, totally different genres, they've gone, wow, will you remix our track? You've gone, wow, can I remix a track for you? Bosh. And then there was other bands that stayed behind, and what was really beautiful about that day was we expected bands to come just before this was going to go on set up and go when they finished. No one went. No one went. The only bands that went had other gigs on. Everyone stayed, and we was here at 10, 11 o'clock, because obviously you came and went, but I was stood here at 10, 11 o'clock at night with 2 or 3 bands going, oh, I'm doing this festival, I'm arranging this, come and work with me, come and help me, why don't you come on? And I was like, this is just brilliant.
And but you know what, as well, because you kind of looked after people as well, you made sure everyone was fed, watered, nice atmosphere, made everyone feel really, really welcome, and that makes a big difference as well. When you go and you do a gig and people aren't friendly and they don't feed you and water you, you just think, right, I'll do the gig and fuck off,
Yeah.
So you did the absolute antithesis of that. The funny thing is about just kind of carrying on from actually playing and being quite nervous, and then looking at the back, and the one person I saw at the back kind of nodding his head was Chris from Smoking Eskimo, standing right at the back, and it kind of gave me real heart when I was playing. I thought, well, one person's clearly enjoying it a little bit. Oh, that's all right, because that's all I look for is one person, right? But it kind of it meant that I knew I'd have a chat to him afterwards. And in fact, when I went to chat to him, he was leaning over to get another bottle of beer out. You had that barrel of beer there, and he was leaning over, and he had a half open, half drunk bottle of beer in his back pocket as well. And I said, dude, you've already got an open beer in your back pocket. And he went, oh, have I? And we just both laughed, right? And we just started talking, and he said, I really liked your set. And I said, mate, I spotted you. Thank you. I spotted you at the back. Just had a nice little head nod and that. And he said, I don't normally like that kind of music. And I just said, listen, man, it's all rock and roll. It's all rock and roll. Yeah. And he found that phase really kind of, it really amused him,
Yeah.
Because it is all rock and roll.
Yeah, it's all rock and roll, mate. It's all the same, isn't it, really? It's just different, using different instruments or different ways of playing. And I think what we're going to do, because people are going to be... We started the show with one of your tracks that you opened the setup, and you obviously launched it in the studio here. I think we should play the track, and then we can come back and chat, because then it might make more sense to people, mightn't it? Yeah. So I mean,
awesome.
We'll be off screen, so you can go and get another Snicker or whatever you was eating before, and we'll talk about this. But people, think about this. This is an indie band who actually blew everybody away. Everybody on the day said Smoking Eskimo were brilliant, and what we wanted to announce tonight was we want them to headline 2024. So that was going to be a big announcement for us. So we want them to headline it, because the day when they came on, everybody come back and went, they stole the show. And that's not saying that anyone else wasn't good. I think it was
They're
just
just quality, man.
it's
They're
just their
quality.
vibe, their old persona, their attitude was like,
Yeah.
it was like I had tingles watching everybody. I couldn't believe it. I was dumbstruck in there. I was like, how is this happening in my backyard type of thing? Do you know what I mean? I don't even know how we got everybody in this tiny little space that we've got behind us. But let's play. I can't even. What's the track called? I've had to send it from another system. Can't remember what it's called.
It's called Age of the Sage.
Age of the Sage. Listen to this, people. This is an indie band mixed by the Big Boss UK. Listen to this. Seriously, it's divine. Watch me play the wrong track now. Listen, listen. Be right back. Man. I was grinning and smiling and boogieing along. I was on screen for most of that. Well done. Seriously, well done.
Oh, cheers, mate.
I
You know
think
what? I'm just thinking about that, right? That's the great thing about being a producer, right? You know, it's like you get to tinker with stuff. It's a bit like that old joke, right? Where the guy goes into a barber shop and says, you know, I want a haircut like Justin Bieber, and the barber shaves his head bald, and he goes, that's not like Justin Bieber, and he goes, well, it would be if he ever came in here, mate. You know, it's a bit like that. You get to kind of get a band and go, well, I want them to sound like this, or I'm going to make it sound like this, and you can do whatever you want. And it's lovely when people trust you to do that, and you always do it in the knowledge that they might not like it. And I've done some remixes for people, and they've absolutely hated it, and that's their prerogative, and they haven't put them out. So when they trust you and you do it and they like it as well, it's such a bonus, man.
well, I think I love your style of music. I love your vibe. I wouldn't like to categorize it, but I do like your style of mixing. I think it's brilliant. And if you listen to that, Chris's vocals are brilliant, aren't they? They just
That's the thing.
lend themselves to it. And as a guitarist, he's outstanding. He's an outstanding guitarist. He's just phenomenal. What a guy. What a guy.
Well, the thing is, when so they sent me a disc mix of the track, which is just run off after it had been recorded, not mixed or anything like that. And they sent me that, and then they sent me all the stems as well. And when I got the stems, wow, there were a couple of things that what occurred to me immediately, which was how fantastic that vocal actually is. It's outstanding, and I thought that vocal needs to. For this remix, it needs to breathe. It needs to be the main thing. It needs to be heard. The other thing was what an outstanding bass player Jim is. But when I started trying to mix his slap style, because when I had to do the gig and leave because I had to drive back the same day, so I tuned in and watched them do their show. On the actual the live webcast of it, and he's an absolutely outstanding bass player. Like some guys that are just on the money. He like Flea from the Chili Peppers, or JJ Burnell from the Stranglers, or he's just on it. And but when I tried to mix in his funk bass with that remix, it didn't work. So I had to take the whole thing out, and I thought, shit, I've not used any. But then I started mucking around with it, and I put it through like an oscillator and an LFO, and the little bit you hear that goes like that, that's his slap bass. So I found one little bit that just became this little feature that just keeps popping up, and I thought, great, because now I can say I've actually used the bass as well. The only bit of the drums I used was the overhead mic. I used a lot of the backing vocals and chopped them up. That kind of that. I thought that sounded really nice as well. And then I just cleaned a lot of it out. But it's. When you get something like that, it inspires you to do stuff. It's like you don't have to think of it. You just start mucking around. Ooh, you find little gems like that.
Yeah. And for me, I was also grinning because I thought, I've not done it because I've not sung the lyrics or I've not produced it. But we've created that because it wouldn't have happened without us.
Exactly.
I'm like,
It
wow,
wouldn't happen, though. If you didn't have Dougie Fest, that wouldn't have happened. So
never, because
you're as
you'd never met them.
responsible as anyone.
Yeah. And we was talking before the show about worlds collide and things happen, and that's what's happened at Dougie Fest. And sorry to keep going on about Dougie Fest, but this is where that track's been born from. And I've known Martin for years. He's been a great supporter of what we've been doing. He's been to the studio, launched one of his albums here, and obviously opened Dougie Fest. And I forget what I was going with that now. Yeah. And it's like I was telling you earlier on, you were saying I was doing a bit of driving. I know people might know, I mentioned it, things will change around because I've signed on with a driving agency. And my previous jobs that I've done before I worked for myself was running large organisations, 20 odd £1 million a year spend, 150 staff, really senior. A lot of hassle comes with that. I applied for a few jobs, not heard a peep out of anybody. So I thought, screw you, I'm just going to go and do something that's got no responsibility apart from turning up. Might not be great money, but if I put the graft in, I'll earn enough for what I want to do. Bosh. So I posted that on social media, on Facebook. I posted it on LinkedIn, which is a business. My wife went, "Why have you done that? It could do you a lot of damage." And I went, "I don't care. I don't care about people's opinions. Nobody wants me anyway, so what does it matter?"
Yeah.
And their opinions won't pay the mortgage or pay for whatever we want to do. And this is a good message for things you never know what's going to happen, like Dougie Fest, where it's going to go. From that post, someone I do work for charity as well, and she spotted it and went, "Kurt's looking for work." Cut a long story short, I had I had a chat with her husband and a meeting yesterday, and one of me loves is the station, music and interviews. The other one is motorcycling and riding. I would ride all day, every day if I could. And next week I'm going to Myra and I'll be a test rider for a company that works with Myra, testing brands like Norton, Royal Enfield, Triumph, and I'm going to be doing, I told you before, going to be doing a project for the next 2 or 3 months with other people to put with 2 riders putting 250 mile a day on a Rocket 3, which is like, boof. Now that would never have happened if I'd have thought sod it and put a post out about it. I wasn't after sympathy. I was just putting out to the world that this is what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And what's really bizarre, about 2 months ago, I said to my wife in the kitchen, my dream job would be riding motorcycles all day. If I could do that and earn money doing it, I'd love it. And on Monday she says, "The other week you said that you'd love to ride motorbikes all day and get paid for it." She said, "You're actually doing it, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." Fucking mad.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It's insane. And that's why I like to do these shows and other things I do. And I put stuff on social media and people go, "Why did you put that on?" I have a bit of a shock value, but a lot of the time I'm doing it to either entertain people or make them think about something. And if people take me too serious in some of the stuff I say, well, you obviously don't know me. Do you know what I mean? You lose your mind. And I think the message from talking to you and what we're doing today is, you don't know what's going to happen. You just step out. So what might seem like a trivial job, driving a truck, and I've loved every minute of it. I can tell you, I've had a giggle every day. That can lead to something else. So don't go in on yourself. Get out there, put things out, do things. Just try things, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Man, your comfort zone's like a desert, man. Nothing grows there. You know?
Well, yeah, and I think saying to someone the other day, I can't even remember what I said to. It was the interview I did last night. If you don't try or you give up, you're going to lose, aren't you? You've lost. You're never going to do anything. Yeah. But if you try, then there's a chance you might make something or something will come from it. One option is you won't.
Like I say, man. Yeah, like I say, I've done remixes before, and I've had I did a remix for one band, local band in Macclesfield, and I played it to the guy. I really, really liked it. I thought it was shit hot, and the guy kind of went, "It doesn't sound very much like the original, does it?" And I went, do you understand the concept of a remix? Is that, so I have done it and it's fallen flat before, but it doesn't stop you trying again, because you know what, to actually come up with what's probably my best ever remix, to be honest, because the source material was so good and the vocal was so good.
Yeah.
Um, and when you kind of, I just kind of hit it off so well with Chris and Jim and Brogan, that I wanted to do a good job for them.
Yeah,
When you
I
like
was.
someone,
You were already emotionally invested in it, in that project. So,
yeah,
and that's going to come through in it with anything you do. If you're just doing something and you're not emotionally invested, it's different. I use this a few times. I've done, and we all heard it through management thing. It's like when you see someone and bricklaying. You go up to the first person, and we might even said it to you before. What you doing? I'm laying bricks. Yeah, laying bricks. Okay. Second person, what you doing? I'm building a wall. Go to the third person. What you doing, mate? I'm building a cathedral. And I think that's whatever you do. Build cathedrals. Don't be just laying brick. Don't look at the process of the thing that you're doing. You need to be emotionally invested in it. And do you know what? I bet every brick he laid was outstanding compared to the other two. Do you know what I mean? He's emotionally invested.
yeah, yeah.
Can see the future. Can see what's going to happen. And you were emotionally invested. Manta Ray's on, just as they're a band that we've interviewed. And he says Invisible Squirrel does remix, and they remix one of their tracks, and he's good. He's got a very similar style to you as well, I think.
Invisible Squirrel. I'll check them out, man.
Yeah, yeah. So what's been happening with you apart from this?
If I can find them, get it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. Went over my head. That right over my head, right over my head. I'm trying to think.
Invisible Squirrel.
What's their remix? What remix did they do for you? I can't even remember what the track was called. Oh God. Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, because he's done a few on here. But this is what he sounds like. So let's see. He did this. I know we're digressing. So forever your pleasure. He's quite good actually. He's not as good as you. But imagine we wouldn't. We'd say the same to him.
There's
But
no such thing.
this is
There's no such.
the remix of Manta Ray's track by Invisible Squirrel. Yeah, there you go. So that's go and check him out. Another producer. We love it. We love it. He's enough to go around, isn't he? Enough to go around. There you go.
Plenty.
Brilliant. Oh, yeah, he worked with Joe Peacock as well. Yeah, great. Right, that's sorted. So what's on the cards at the minute? Obviously, you released your album a few months ago, didn't you?
That's right. I released this little beauty here, and it's on 12-inch heavyweight vinyl. And I
Nice.
pressed it up on two 12-inches to get the quality there,
Yeah.
So it's only got 2 tracks each side. So I've been spending a lot of my time speaking to record shops, trying to get this little beauty in there. I must have spoken to, I reckon, about 150 record shops.
Right.
You know what? It's almost given me a love of cold calling again, because
Yeah.
just phoning up people and chatting to them, and I've been kind of passing on some of the lessons to my son. And that you get no's, but every no, you're just a little bit closer to another yes, and you've got to take it that way. But the plus side of it is I've spoken to there's some great people in record shops out there that are absolutely doing it for the right reasons, and sometimes you speak to them, they go, yeah, we want to support independent artists, and I was speaking to a guy in a record shop in Montrose.
Wow.
And I was speaking to a guy in a record shop in Selby a couple of days ago, Michael, and it wasn't normally the kind of stuff that they stock, but I sent him a SoundCloud link and he listened and he said, yeah, I'll have 3. Can you sign one for me? And
nice.
We're gonna play and it's because no one's gonna, and this is the thing I was saying to them, no one's gonna walk into your record shop and say, have you got any Big Boss? Because most people don't know who I am. So I've been doing things like making up little, sending them the record, making a little CDR so they can play it in the shop, sending them some little posters, putting little like Big Boss postcards in the albums.
Nice.
Just as little things. Because I think these days you've got to treat yourself like a little cottage industry as a band. Really, you do. And you've got to go out there. It's a bit like any kind of business, Kirk, isn't it? It's like what business you're in. We're all in the business of sales, regardless of what you do. Whether you're driving a truck or laying a brick or playing the guitar. You're in the business of sales, so you've got to go out and sell yourself. So I've been spending most of my time doing that. I've got this spreadsheet of 250 record shops with notes all over it and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So, but I've been writing as well. I'm probably about 6 tracks into the next album.
Awesome.
Which is coming out next year. That's going to be called 6-0 because I'm going to be 60 when it comes out.
Should have called it 4-0. You'd go away with that.
Yeah.
He's 2 years older than me. I'll be 58 in January.
Maybe on Zoom I could get away with it, mate.
Yeah, well, we can Photoshop any age you want, mate. It's not a problem nowadays.
Exactly. And listen, that's a really good point there. I think we kind of live in an age where it doesn't really matter. I mean, Jesus, I'm not, Madonna's a different kettle of fish, but she's 67 and she's
like that now. I'm freaking seen the state of her.
Yeah. But actually, and you know what? I thought that's what most of the narrative was going to be about her tour. But actually, the narrative that seems to be coming out of that tour is she's a 67-year-old woman and she's still killing it.
She's brilliant. She's brilliant. She's awesome. Yeah, I really wish she hadn't done that with her face because I think she spoiled herself because musically and talent-wise, she's reinvented herself for 40-odd years and she's just phenomenal in what she's done.
Yeah. So, I think we live in an age where it doesn't matter. It's more what you do than what you look like or who you are, I think, because we've got the facilities to spread it as far and wide as we can with the internet.
And I think with yourself and producers, you don't even have to have your face anywhere, do you? You can be like Dead Mouse and put a fucking stupid thing on your head, and no one knows who you are, what you are. You could be anything. You could be anything, and I think, and I think a lot of time, a lot of people give up when they get to a certain age. They go, I'm too old. I mean, same with me doing some of the things. I'm going to think, actually, who am I going to appeal to? Because I'm getting nearly 60, but hang on a minute. There's lots of presenters out there who are older than me and smashing it. I'm never going to be on the bloody ITV or Channel 4 or something, interviewing people. But I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I don't know where it's going to take me, but it's going to take me somewhere. And if nothing else, I've had interesting conversations with people and shared those people with other people, and that is worth doing, isn't it?
Hey, listen, I'm a massive believer in lowering the bar of expectation, right? Massive believer. Listen, hear me out, right? Hear me out. If you're in a band, right, and you're here and you think I want, to sell so many million albums, I want to tour so many things, and your bar is here, then anything between here and here is ultimately disappointment, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you drop the bar to there and go, this is me here. And if I make one person happy, then that's it. I've broken even. Then anything from there up is a bonus. It's a different way of looking at it. And I wish I'd kind of thought about it that way when I was younger in rock.
Yeah, and I think it takes age to do that. I mean, I had a concept, or I had a figure in my head for what I wanted the station to be, and it was monetary, even though I'm not motivated by money, which is the bizarrest thing, isn't it? So, and we've just gone, well, we need to. We've gone from that. I've gone from that to say, can we earn this much a month, which basically covers all the costs? Bosh. we last few months we've actually been doing that, and it's been nice. We've had a little bit on top, and like none of us could live off it, or even but it's like actually, the whatever the target was up here was going to earn is not even it's not even visible at the minute. But actually, I'm like, it's not costing me anything. Not even have to put any money in. We're doing bloody well.
How happy are you with that little bit on top?
Oh, mate, honestly,
what does that make you?
Honestly, it's phenomenal. Dan did a show on last Thursday. It was his 5th anniversary. I went on, talked about loads of different things, and that show blew me away because we must have hit a nerve with people because we ended up with 110 quid in tips.
Wow.
Now,
that's amazing.
People might think 110 quid, like, I can earn that. Listen, for people to give you £1 is phenomenal, but to get 110 quid coming in from one show never happened, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen again. But what we was talking about, what Dan was chatting about, and the way we put it over, it really hit the nerve with people, and people it was like, there's another tenner coming, another tenner coming, another tenner. It's like, wow, this is crazy. So that's nice.
Both of my daughters work in like bars and restaurants and stuff like that, and one came home with 2 quid the other day, and the other one came home with 5p. One person gave them a 10p tip the whole night. 5p. So 110 quid's magic, man.
How can people do that? I mean, I know we're not living in the States where you've got to drop 15% or 10% if you're not happy or whatever it is. Yeah. But we went for a meal the other day, and someone would give us a voucher to go, so it didn't really cost us much. So, but I left a fiver. The meal was about 50 quid. I left a fiver, so that's 10%, isn't it? He'd probably over the moon, wouldn't he, with 10%? And that's crazy, that, because I went in a motorcycle cafe, a proper greasy spoon, on the weekend, and they've got a tip bowl in the front. I looked in, there's tenors and fivers, and I'm thinking, hey, that's great. They've got tenors and fivers in their tip jar in a cafe. How nice is that? Because the girls are running around like idiots because they're short staffed and they're panicking, and people appreciate it. But I don't know how the people go out for a meal and not tip them. If you go to McDonald's or a fast food joint, but people in the service industry, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. They deliberately get paid minimum wage by the restaurant owners because they're relying on tips. And then the taxman goes, we're going to presume that you've earned £3,000 this year in tips. We want a percentage of that, even though you're not at it. And the one that really infuriates me is this. I always ask the waiter or the waitress or the whatever. Well, they're probably all called waiters now, aren't they? Because you can't distinguish between the two. I always say, if I put a tip on here, where does that go? Does it go into the company? And if they say I give them physical cash.
Yeah. A lot of restaurants do that, where the tip actually goes to the company and they don't give it to the passing staff. But the tip is supposed to be based on your experience, on the quality of the service to the person that served you.
Correct.
That's an incentive for them to give good service.
Yeah, and the guy that served. Yeah, the guy that served.
They might as well throw your food at you and go, eat it and fuck off.
Yeah, that's how I would. That's probably why I never got any tips when I was waiting tables. What the fuck, you man? What? Bit like you, fucking vegetarian. You get out, fucking get out.
I quite like to go to a restaurant like. There is a restaurant like that where they insult you.
Yeah,
have you heard of it?
Yeah, but there's one in Chinatown in London, and Sanders took me, and they're rude. They're rude at you, deliberately rude, and it's fucking ace. It's just fucking fun. Let's go out with the fucking tea and everything on the table and throw the plates down and fucking walk off. It's awesome. I love it. I've been a couple of times. She said, "Oh, it's terrible here. They're really rude. You love it." And I did. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was excellent.
Oh. Hey, listen, mate. Listen, just to get back on tack about Dougie Fest, because I've just remembered something you told me. Haven't you got some kind of sinking deal going with a US radio station or something like that?
Well, we're probably going out there now. I've not checked. This is probably simcasting to the States at the minute. What's happening is Dougie Fest 2024 will simcast on Dougie Stone Radio and Mixcloud, and also, I'm going to put the graphic on now for everybody because we've got a graphic for them that we made Well, Eddie made it, but we made it. That's on screen now. Outlaw Alliance Radio on Mixcloud. Go and check them out. Absolutely wonderful guys. That's another one where we just sort of hit it off. What they did a few months ago, Paramount Plus now own the rights to Star Trek. And it was 57 years of the Star Trek first one. So it came out the year I was born. And they did a 26-hour broadcast with all graphics from Star Trek from all different seasons and stuff, to music. But prior to that, the Paramount Plus had they were casting out on Paramount Plus a celebration, and they had different actors chatting and different scenes and what have you, and they give permission to Outlaw Alliance Radio Network to beam it out and to us. So we beam them out for 26 hours.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
what they've done now, it's a bit of a test for them. Paramount Plus have given them a contract now, I think, for the next few years. And what they've said is they want us involved as well. So we're actually, instead of us we just decided to cast it. We'll cast it for 26 hours. We'll do it. I think that's why my computer messed up in the end. I think I worn it out. But we're going to be officially part of it. So we will be doing either a 2-hour slot or a 4-hour slot or 2-2-hour slots during the 26 hours.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
But also,
amazing what happened. You
yeah,
put yourself out there, man.
yeah, and we've all get burned, and you've got to keep, even though you've been burned, you go back again and again, don't you? Does that make sense? If you've been ripped off, you go back again.
Hey,
You
let
can't.
me ask you something.
Yeah, and
You guys have got country music slots on your show, have you?
I used to do one on a Monday, but we've not done it for a while. We're talking about bringing it back again.
Well, the reason I do that is my brother's a farmer out in Western Australia, right, about 5 hours southeast of
Oh
Perth.
yeah,
and he also runs a bush camp out there.
right.
It's called Mount Trio Bush Camp Caravan Park, and for the first time this year, they're putting on a country music festival way out in the outback. It's the same
Nice.
place where my mum went missing for 4 days and 3 nights a couple of years ago. Told you about that, didn't I?
Partying. She's partying.
Yeah, she just went bush for 3 days. They found her alive. But he's holding a first ever Mount Trio Country Music Festival out there.
Wow.
I'm thinking they should like stream it, man. Stream
Of
from
course
the
they
outback
should,
or something.
mate. They should get them to have a chat with me. I'll help them. Needs to
Okay,
be on this
mate.
platform.
Awesome.
Needs to get on this platform, man. So Dougie Fest 2024 is going to go out simcast onto Outlaw Alliance Radio, which is also there a network of. It's a really interesting story. They started off. They were DJs. Some of them were DJs, and they were going to doing gigs. And then next week, we don't need you now. We got another guy, and we're paying him $10 less. All that sort of crap. So they bounded
Right.
together in the area, and they all share equipment. So if someone's amp breaks down or a deck fails, they go, "Oh, you borrow mine," and they basically got it so that they're all being evenly paid and not being dicked about by everyone, which is brilliant.
Nice.
So they're also linked with radio stations in the States. So whatever we do will go out on there, which would be fantastic. Right, the Soho restaurant I'll talk about is called Wonkie. So WONGKIE. Wonky in Soho. Go and try it. Honestly, it's as rough as you like, and they just don't treat you with any P's and Q's or anything. It's just like, there you go, brilliant. You'll love it. You'll absolutely love it.
Excellent.
So let's bring
Definitely.
on screen. So what's your brother's place called? What's it? Say it again. What's it called? West.
It's called Mount Trio. Mount
I was well off then, wasn't I?
TRIO. Mount Trio Bush Camp.
We're gonna have a look at that. What I should have done was ask you that. See, I need someone in here doing this like Joe Rogan has.
Yeah.
Caravan Park, is
producer.
it? Sterling Range Camping. Is that the one?
That's the one.
Let's have a look. This is riveting for people out there, isn't it? We're going to go to this.
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah.
it could be.
Shit on the internet.
Oh, look at that! Oh, wow! I'm just on
It's
there.
big. My other brother from New Zealand's gone out, and they've built a stage and everything.
People, have a look at this. We're not seeing his stage, but look at where they are. Look at that. Look at the view from there and the mountains and
Wow.
all. Oh my God.
It's incredible out there, mate. It's incredible. And they're having the first ever country music festival out there in that part of the world, anyway. In you know,
Oh, here we go.
South.
Event Mountain Country Music Muster, Mount Trio Bush Camp and Caravan Park, 3rd and 5th of November for bookings. They need to get it out there, mate. It'd be absolutely brilliant, that.
Yeah,
Depending on the time diff, we could simcast that for them. But there you go. They should definitely get it out there, mate. They should have someone video.
Oh,
They need a Brogan to go and take photographs for him or something like that. Definitely.
oh, mate, I'll hook you up with my brother. Yeah. You guys will talk till like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So no, it's brilliant, mate.
Nice,
Absolutely.
I think they might have to have a hamster on a wheel to get the internet going or something. I'm not sure, but
Well, it is. Yeah, it is down under, and it's the other side of the planet. It's not reached them yet.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
No,
We don't
no,
want to have
no,
too much
still-
technology. You see, we don't. We need to keep them down there. We don't want to keep them down there. We don't want the technology. Just keep producing brilliant lamb. That's what we want. Are they in Australia or New Zealand? I didn't. Because you're New Zealand.
Australia.
Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they produce lamb as well, don't they?
West-
Nightmare,
It's
nightmare, mate.
beautiful. I was out there at Christmas, man. It's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Of course it is. I've never been. I'd like to, but we've never got round to it. Never got round to it. I'm just wondering if we should have another track while people are around out and about. Eddie, Dougie Fest 2025, Australia, the Outback. That's all.
Oh,
Dougie Fest, yeah,
There you
Dougie
go.
Fest, yeah.
this is how shit happens, man.
Good gay. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Eddie, I don't think we can afford that. We might have got 110 quid tips, but have you seen the price of flights to Oz? It's expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
And
it is. It
24
is.
hours to get there. Brilliant.
Well,
Brilliant.
no, you know what? You can go direct from London to Perth now, 17 hours direct.
Oh, that's not bad, that. Took me 18 hours
Still
to get on a
costs me
ferry.
$5.
17
Yeah.
hours. Took me 18 hours to get on a ferry from Germany to Norway. 18. I said, how long? I said, how could it be 18 hours?
I can be in Perth by now.
It's ridiculous. So I had a few sherbets at the bar and all you can eat buffet and free drinks, and then went to bed. It was great. Oh. Anyway, people, let's have we won't play it all, but let's have a little listen to this. This is the Big Boss, and it's the return of the Big Boss. Let's have a listen to this, people.
I heard this for a while.
No, there you go. That Coast to Coast has had nearly 14,000 streams. The place, the Big Boss, brilliant, man, brilliant. I'm just wondering if we've not got any questions. People just chirping in. Can we simcast with them? And Outlaw Alliance will love it. Yeah, I know they will. We'll have a live chat. I don't think we'll be able to simcast, Janice, because I don't think they're up to speed with all the technology that they need to do, and they're doing it in November. They've only got a month to work it out with them, so might not happen that, but it'll be good, won't it? And the time shift, because there's is it 11 hours? Oh, yeah, it's about 11 hours, isn't it? Difference. 11 or 12.
Depends. Yeah, at the moment they're about 7 hours ahead. So, yeah. Listen, one for the future, Janice.
Definitely, Janice will sort that out. We'll get Janice on it. Right? We've been chatting and we've chatted and we've chatted. I think it's been absolutely brilliant. I could talk to you for hours. I don't know.
Likewise, mate.
Don't know if people will still be watching by now, but we've
No one will be listening. Just be you and me left, mate.
but it doesn't matter. In the years to come, someone will find it and go, "Wow, that was awesome, wasn't it?" Well, I think the upshot of everything is we've known each other quite a few years now, and it's about that. It's about relationships. It's about connecting with people that you've got a similar interest or a similar vibe rocking, and I think it works. Because also,
You know what?
go on. No, go
I
on.
was just going to say, you know what? When you hang around, when you connect with people, you hang around with the right people. It's kind of it's when, not if. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because nothing happened in the first 10 years we knew each other, it doesn't mean anything.
No.
It's just just keep the right relationships, and eventually good stuff happens.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
you're a perfect example. If you hadn't put on Dougie Fest and invited me down and invited Smoking Eskimo down, it never would have happened, man. You're like the sprinkling of the stardust,
I
dream
know,
maker.
I often forget what we do and where we've come from and what we actually do, and the links we make, and we don't always see those those seeds that we're dropping everywhere all the time, thinking we're doing the right thing, we're doing the right thing. We don't always see them blossom. We don't always see what happens, but things happen behind the scenes, and it's unfortunate we don't. It's unfortunate for a lot of people that don't that because I was at a few, not trying to be morbid. I was at a funeral last week of my wife's uncle, and it was a nice funeral. And I'm thinking, the person that it's for is will never know what people are going to say about him, or do you know what I mean? And until they die.
Mate, have you heard of living funerals? I think it's a great idea. It was a. I'll find the link for it. It's a lady who had um, uh, terminal cancer, and she decided she wasn't going to wait until she was dead to have a funeral. She had a living funeral. She had somehow she knew Dawn French, so she got Dawn French to dress up as the vicar of Dickon and be the vicar, and and she. But the thing is, she sat there, and everyone stood up and said these lovely things about her, and she was there,
Oh
you
man,
know.
and how nice is that for you saying it to that person? Because when they're dead, you want to say, "I wish I'd have said this to him. I wish they'd known." And I think there's a lot of people on social media or they're watching people doing stuff, and I'd urge you, and I'm not saying to do it for us, yeah, but I'd urge you to go to that person and say, I love your stuff. What you're doing there is fantastic. Whatever it is, because they
Yeah,
might be at the point of jacking it in and giving up or whatever, and that might just give them the spark for them to go and do something else and make their day right and someone else's day. But so if anyone watches this, if you're still watching it now, God, you are brave. You're committed. You're
all very
committed,
lonely.
or you need committing. But if you are and you see someone, don't just sit there on social media and go, "Oh, Fred's doing that," or the big bosses. Oh, I like these. I like the big bossy stuff because the big boss doesn't fucking know. And I always say on my shows, go and find the artists that we promote on Twitter and say, "I saw you on Dougie Stone," because they'll love you for it. You know why I'm saying that, don't you? Because yeah,
Absolutely.
I know.
Yeah,
But
it's
but
true.
but it's right
It's
though, isn't
true.
it? Go and say, "I heard your track on there, and it's awesome, brilliant." And it might only be two people that do it, but that two people speaking to an artist that's not had any communication with anyone, it'll blow their mind.
Yeah. The weights that those kind of words carry are completely disproportionate in a good way to what the
Yeah.
people
It's worth more than money.
saying them might be.
It's worth more than money. I mean, it that's why I wanted you around, you doing your stuff, and you coming opening for us. Thought it was awesome, and for me also, it was quite a big risk because I'm inviting quite a lot of people to my home. So that is a
Yeah,
big thing, isn't it? It is really. It's a big risk. So, but I
absolutely.
trust in the people that we're interacting with, decent people that are going to come and not trash the place and do a good thing and go. But that was a
Me aside, you're a pretty good judge of character, Kirk.
well, no, well, people don't know this, and I'll admit to it now. I actually made him, well, vegetarian on it, but near enough vegan. You know what
Yeah.
I'm like about vegans? People think they're fucking lunatics. However, what did I make you? A curry and a chili. I think I made you a curry and a chili
It was
now, or I made you a curry.
beautiful, mate. It was
I know,
absolutely gorgeous.
I know. So,
Absolutely gorgeous that was.
and it's
Yeah.
worth
I'll be coming food.
it's worth doing. My wife, to be fair, I can cook, but my wife wasn't here, was she? She was in India, and she knew you was coming. She said, "You have got to make him a vegetarian meal. You've got to make him a vegetarian meal because he's coming. So make sure you don't just make chili and expect him not to eat it and give you some lettuce or something. You've got to make him a meal." So me and Janice made you
Bless you, Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. You're
that.
a legend.
But that's way people come. We want it to be right. We wanted to feed people right. We want to make people feel welcome. They were not coming to do a festival. we call it Dougie Fest. It wasn't a festival. It was, I believe, a gathering of like-minded people to produce something that hopefully will springboard to something even better. And I think we did that. Veggie chili, she says. No, I think it was a veggie curry. I didn't think of a veggie curry.
It was a curry.
It was a curry. It was definitely curry. Definitely a curry. She said the trouble, everyone ate it. They did. They kept coming in. There was a band in the after later on today, and she went, "Oh, have you got vegetarian stuff?" She's a vegetarian, so someone else got the benefit as well. They're all over it. Loved it.
Hey, you know what? This always happens, mate, and that's why you got to send the veggies to the table first, because all the meat eaters go up there and they go, "Oh, this looks nice," and they eat it all.
Yeah, because
by the time the vegetarian gets to the table, there's bloody no.
Well, we'll have to do that next time, won't we? We'll have to specifically put someone in charge of vegetarian, but we will nominate someone to that at the next one, and we'll have a list of people that can eat that food. And no one else can touch it. Once they've finished, everyone else can circle round it and eat it.
Give us green wristbands.
We're going to go in a minute. Did I tell you? Because my wife's got honestly, she's got an electric car. So we bought it a year ago. It's a long story why she's got it, but she got an electric car. And when she was ordering it, I said to the girl in the dealership, "Can you do me a favour, love?" She said, "What's that?" I says, "I don't want that green fucking stripe on it." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, all the electric cars have got this green stripe on them. Oh, look at me, I'm saving the world." I says, "I don't want number plates." She says, "They don't come like that." I says, "I'm telling you," she says, "a dealership." Says, "They do, love. They come with a green stripe on them so that it's like signalling to everyone that you're saving the world." I don't want it. Don't want it. Anyway, when we went to pick the car up, and you know me, I'm a bit, I'm like that. When I went to pick the car up, she went, "Excuse me." She says, "You never guess what happened." I said, "They put green stripes on the number plates, haven't they?" She went, "Yeah, I didn't know they did that." I went, "Oh, well, I did tell you." I says, "I hope they've not got green stripes on because I don't want the car if they have." She went, "No, I had to have them remade, just blank." She says, "Why do they do that?" I went, "No idea, but that's what they do."
You wanted brown stripes, didn't you?
Yeah, black ones for all the carbon that I'm putting out on my motorcycle when I'm ragging it round the streets. I think we've been on an hour. I think we better cut to the chase. Haven't we? We better go. I think, mate. Haven't we? We better go. Is there anything you want to say? I've not asked you, or any messages to anyone?
No, mate. I just want to say, Kirk, I love you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Love you too, mate. I love you. That's it. And that's what it's about. And then if we can spread a bit of love. So what we're going to do, we'll let you go on your evening. And for people that are watching on Mixcloud now, we're going to play that track again. I'm not sure if I can put it on YouTube. I might take it off because I'll probably get some sort of copyright crap off it, like I've done.
Yeah, well, it's out. It's out on the 27th for this month.
Oh, we never even asked you that, did we? We never even asked that.
Never even thought of it until now. It's out on the 27th. It's out on all the major streaming platforms. So, and there is a video that has been done for it, which is the longer version of that little clip you might have seen, and it's great as well. It's proper acid head trippy, and I think it suits the song.
It suits the frigging band as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, he might not. I was going to say before, he might not have been nodding because he was liking the music. He might have been having a bit of a freaking meltdown because of all the freaking stuff he'd been pumping inside him or something. I don't know. I'm casting aspersions now, but it's rock and roll people. You know what I mean? It's not a focus group. They're not eating lettuce.
You know what? We just got on straight,
mate.
He's a top lad and so talented, man.
And the Brogan pictures were great, but what I didn't realise until after it, I sort of recognised him, Chris. And like I used to go, I do business improvements and go into companies, and I sent a picture on to a few people what was doing and everything, and my mate went, "What's Chris doing at your house?" "What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you know him?" He went, "Yeah," says, "he worked with us at Excalibur. He was there when you was there." I went, "No way." He went, "Yeah, remember him?" And I went, "Oh, he had different hair because he was in a Jam tribute type band. So he had like Paul Weller hair." I was like, Oh
Really?
my God! How I've worked with him, and he's like lives in Wolverhampton, yeah,
Bizarre.
and he's here. I went in to do an improvement project on the company, and he was one of the engineers that worked there, refixing
Wow,
vending
that's
machines. I'm
crazy.
like, my mate's like, why is Chris in your garden? I don't understand what's he doing there. I was like, wow, that's
I
mental, isn't
love
it?
it, mate. I love the randomness of life, man.
It,
It's beautiful.
it is, mate, and I love you. You said I love you to bits as well. I really do got a lot of time for you. So, people, this has been not an introduction. This has been the launch of the collaboration with the big boss, Smoking Eskimo, born from Dougie Stone Radio and Dougie Fest 2023. And I'm immensely proud of this track, even though I had nothing to do with it, if you know what I mean.
You did. You
So
did.
we
You're
just,
like a creator, mate. We're just like me and Chris were just like Adam and Eve.
it's brilliant,
You
mate.
chucked us in the garden. There
Yeah.
you go.
Who had the apple? Right, on that note, I'm going to leave you to it. This is awesome, mate. Speak to you soon. Yeah? Look after yourself.
Yes, bud. Take
Don't
care.
forget, 2024, you're closing the show. Forgot to say that, didn't we? So that was the big... We're going to let him go now. That's the Big Boss UK. Go and check him out. This is the tracks released on the 24th of November. Cheers, mine. Love you, man. See you soon.